Hello everyone, it's mid-August already, and in many ways the summer's been dragging on, and in many ways it seems to have flown by. Your leaders at Grace have never stopped their efforts to serve God's mission, even during these uncertain times. And now they're hard at work, preparing for a fall season of ministry. I'm Pastor Cindy Marino, and I'd love to tell you more about that in this week's Midweek Break. First, to share with you that it's good to be back. I took 2 weeks to spend time with family, and while it wasn't necessarily time away, it was a time to refocus a bit, to see this pandemic life from the perspective of families and children, and to consider our work as a church from a broader view. I had a professor once who encouraged us to take some balcony time in our ministries. We get so mired down in the work that it can become hard to take the long view, as they say. So now is a good time to ask some new questions. How are the needs of our people different than they have been in the past? And what have we learned from this time apart that we can now apply? How might that help us become more intentional in how we're using our time and our technology to serve God's mission for Grace, to be better at connecting with God and with one another? I've always been concerned about the busyness that we tend to create in the church world. It's as if we believe the busier we are, the more faithful we must be, and yet paring back the activities becomes a challenge. These last few months show us that all we really need to do is stay focused on two things: loving God and loving others. There are 3 ways the church can facilitate those two things in the current climate: connect people in groups, and offer various ways to worship, and organize mission opportunities. And what would Grace look like if we continued to focus on those 3 areas of ministry for the remainder of 2020? Instead of worrying about what we used to do and the fact that we can't do it now and how might we do it differently, let's focus on what we can do. I've discovered over the last few weeks especially that Naperville has an incredible park system, as I enjoyed the Riverwalk and the playgrounds with my grandchildren in place of the usual trampoline park and climbing walls they enjoy. DuPage County also has an amazing system of trails, well marked for the bird watchers among us, such as my daughter-in-law Lauren. I've also rediscovered the dog parks, and I've been wearing out my dogs and myself on a regular basis. The prairie is stunning this time of year, and the walks give me new energy. The time in nature feeds my soul and helps me stay focused on God and our mission. Now, these are things I can do, and I'm grateful to be able to do. Our staff is discovering all kinds of things we can do this year at Grace. We're currently working with Jen Wills, one of our exceptional teachers, with an advanced degree in using computers in the classroom, and along with staff parish members Linda Frank and Ann Federline, and using their own connections with the professional organizations they're a part of. Shamus and Lynn and Gaylin are all learning all that they can about engaging children through virtual means. We can't yet meet with our kids in person on a regular basis, but we can provide some hybrid of online and in-person activities, and we can be creative in providing the very best to form them in faith, to help them grow in their love for God and others, to help them see beyond the screen to the love God has for them through the church. And we are committed to doing just that. The possibilities really are endless. While we make plans to return to in-person worship in early October, we're considering how we might be able to hire someone with expertise in video producing, creation, and editing to continue our online worship presence, even after we return to the sanctuary. There are so many with whom we can connect, who can't be with us in our building, but become part of our faith community nonetheless. and we continue to find new ways to offer the love of Christ. These are just a few of the latest. Our side-by-side leaders are raising funds to provide pizza dinners for youth who are in group homes here in Naperville. Our ODM, or Open Doors Ministry, is reorganizing to provide buddies who can stay in connection one-on-one with our differently abled members. Miss Lynn, our children's music director, is preparing a very special gift for those in our children's choir so that they can continue to sing and play together with her. The learning and growing continues. This year's confirmation class has 20 students and is ready to launch with 18 adults trained and ready to journey with them as mentors. Our sanctuary will soon be outfitted with cameras so that we can share our worship with those of you who need to stay home or those who travel from time to time, all thanks to a few generous donors. And Bill Frank is ready to launch the new Grace Community Builder groups, where persons sign up to meet with another person one-on-one. We'll have to forego the potluck dinners for which they've become famous, but the relationship building continues, and you'll see more information about that yet to come. We have 2 new discipleship classes beginning in a few weeks. There's still room for a couple of new participants, but I think we're all seeing just how wonderful it is to be able to connect online. We've grown past the awkwardness of seeing ourselves on a screen and have embraced the ability to meet together from the convenience of wherever we might be. What I love about the list I've just given you is that, first of all, it is incomplete, but more importantly, each of these fits with the groups, worship, and mission outline I described above. When we remove the obligation to repeat events of the past, we find that the future is limitless in what God can accomplish through Grace United Methodist Church. So we all continue to hold you all in prayer. Feel free to email me with concerns or needs or ideas. People of Grace, be blessed and go focus on what you can do today.